Okay, what's the next journey part? Well, it's the money. So, yeah, it would be great. Somebody just give me some money. That would be awesome. So, but that's not going to happen, and I know it. So, I've watched Grounded for Life, which is a couple that sold everything and went to retire on cruise boats and was doing it on Amtrak, and then found different countries that you can definitely do it on. If you watch YouTubes, you'll see how different Americans are going to like Thailand and Vietnam because it's so cheap and you really don't need a lot of money to live there. There's another lady that I watched, Poverty to Paradise, and she's doing it for $2,000, and like she sold everything. So I was like, oh my God, I have a house that I can sell and then I can do this. But my thing is that I also have a freaking stupid ass disease. And I don't even know if I am able just to get up and travel. Well, because I need somebody to do this with me. So first I need to find a caregiver that is willing to use the money that I would pay them to pay for our traveling and our going out. And the person that I use as a caregiver now, like I said, she has a kid. So I'm trying to find that. Someone to help. And then, or maybe just the husband. But see, these husbands, they're not just coming to my door. It kind of sucks because, that's all I do is stay here. So how am I going to meet one if I don't even go out? Well, I have tried the dating apps, which will be a whole different story. I think I might try it again, but they're a difficult one. I was also brought up with always hearing it's too expensive. It's not worth it. We can't afford it. Look around. Try to find the cheapest possible. And also that cheaper is better. That's how I grew up. And now realizing cheaper isn't always better. Sometimes, you get what you pay for. And a lot of time with cheaper, well, that's what you're getting is cheaper ways of doing things, cheaper material, things that work for a little bit but not as long. And that's why I'm like, okay, that's not necessarily the way to go. And then also watching these YouTubes, start realizing what it does to like a child always hearing that. And it makes them think they're not worth it or they don't deserve it. And I thought, you know what, that is kind of me. I just started accepting that I was just never gonna get anything that other people get, or yeah, basically, or I always had to get the cheaper everything. I got to do activities, but like if I were to go to a dance, I always had to find the cheapest dress in order to go. And you get a boutonniere for the date back in the day in the 90s. Well, do they really need it? And then, like going to prom, most people get a limo. Well, didn't get money for that. It's just like, I ended up, because then you ended up splitting it. It wasn't expensive, but it was always just like, always the cheapest thing. So I would also get a dress maybe for like homecoming. And then it was like, well, why can't you use that for the other dress, like the other dances? So it was kind of expected to, like the one dress that I got, was it kind of expected that I would use it for all of them? And that was not the best idea. And I was like, that didn't work. So sometimes I did borrow dresses from friends because I wasn't going to be able to get my own. Or then I had to find the cheapest way to go about it. Like my prom dress, I had to get that made instead of being able to just go buy one. It worked, but now looking back, it was like, wow. And growing up, I got an allowance, but it was like 25 cents a week. Then it went up to like $1. Ooh, and I'm in high school making $1 a week. So that's kind of the money that was just expected. And then if I got money for like birthdays and Christmas, yeah, it always disappeared and it went into my savings that I never got to see. And then my savings, I'm like, okay, I know I have savings. How much do I have? Well, what do you want? Well, I want a car when I turn 16. Well, you don't have the money for that. Okay. and you're not going to use that. You can't use the money for that. You need to save it for college. Okay, so then I didn't get a car until later. So then I went to college and I'm like, okay, can I have some of the money? Well, you're not going to spend it for college. We'll give it to you when you get married. So now I can't even. Okay, I get married. Well, you need that money for a house. Oh my God. So finally I got a house, and yes, my parents did give me money for it, but it wasn't money that was mine. It was money that they pulled from their own house. And so my mom will bring that up whenever she's not happy with what I'm doing or who I'm dating now. There was a guy that I dated. It was horrible. But my parents were like, my mom was like, he's going to take our house. I don't know how that was going to happen. He's going to take your house. And I was like, why would that happen? Like, and then, well, I want the money back for the house. And it's like, what? So then now there's an expectation where supposedly they gave me the down payment, right? But now if I sell my house, she wants the down payment back. And it's like, I thought it was a gift. And that's also how I grew up, where gifts weren't really gifts from my parents. Like some of them, but like especially with money, oh my God, if she was giving a gift of money, that just meant I had to use it the way they wanted me to use it. And that's also horrible. That's not a gift. That's a gift with conditions. Because I was like, oh my God, that's bribery. But it's not necessarily. It's just that it's a kind of like a loan, I would say. Or so then don't call it a gift. Like don't mix up the two, because now I'm getting that confused. And it's not a gift. It's like a loan. So that's different. But don't phrase it like it's a gift. I don't know. That kind of screwed me up a little bit. So then growing up thinking I don't deserve things, or I'm okay with not getting anything. It even carried on to like when I got married, we would get gifts. Well, I needed a gift for the house, which is fine. But then with birthdays would come, and it started, my ex would give me stuff for me, and it was like, why did you waste money on this dress that I'm not going to hardly ever wear? Or on jewelry, I don't need it. Like, I'd rather have a vacuum. I'd rather have windows in my house. Like, stuff for that. And that's not the greatest thing either. Then it became like birthday and Christmas were like he liked dirt bike riding. So then that's when he would get his dirt bike riding stuff. And then, so I'm learning how to deal with that. I've watched and I've read a couple of books. Tony Robbins has a really good book. The only problem that I found with his book for me was that he basically tells you how to calculate for your retirement. And he doesn't count retirement until later 60s, and you need millions. And that's where it's like, well, kind of discouraging. There's another book on I'll teach you how to be rich. Can't remember the guy's name, but he was really good. So I can take that in. So I have debt. So I am trying to pay that off and trying to save. But then also one of the things that Grounded for Life was like, you definitely should get this one credit card because it gives you points for hotels. And then that will help you pay for hotels, especially if you go overseas. The hotel system overseas is a lot better because it's cheaper. So the more points you get, the more nights you can actually get from it. In the United States, it's only like 1 or 2 nights. But then it's like to get 140,000 points, you need to spend $4,000 in 3 months. And now I'm back so I have to go back in debt. But you know what? Debt is not necessarily a bad thing, in which I have to realize. It's just how to go about it. So I'm trying to actually make that work for around Christmas because I have 3 months. So there's only a certain amount of bills that I can actually put on that credit card, because a lot of the major bills that I have, because they're like, oh, put your mortgage. My mortgage only lets me put my bank account on there, and my Edison bill, I can only use my bank account. I can't use credit cards, because that would be amazing if I could. But I also realized that I need a new scooter, electric scooter, but I just spoke to them, and once again, they can only give you one that you can basically use in your house. They don't like, because I wanted the new fold up one that it's easy to like maybe go travel with. I don't know. I want to check it out. But they don't cover that. So, because I don't like covering anything out of the house, it's only really for in the house. So now I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll have to buy myself one of those, which once again, it's really expensive. I can't afford it. But with the mindset also on learning on YouTube, you can't say can't because then you won't. And that was a concept that was really kind of crazy because the reason why it's not happening is because you're telling yourself it's not happening. But then you're telling yourself it's not happening because it's not happening. So it's like a catch-22, but when you finally realize it's because what you're thinking, it kind of helps. So instead of saying I can't, or I can't afford it, I have to start saying like I'm going to find a way. It will work out, because then you leave it open and it's not a straight no. And that's what I've been trying to do, and it's kind of been working. I also saw this other YouTube of this Japanese guy, and it was being translated, and he was basically like, the only word you ever really need to say is arigato, and you need to say it like 1,000 times a month. I didn't really get how many times, but it was a lot. And arigato translates to thank you. And so I've been doing that. Whenever I get a chance, I just say thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's actually been working. That's kind of cool. So I kind of keep going on that because a lot of stuff kind of happened when I started doing that. And I was like, this might be something to it. Then also I was like, I just need to play the lottery or gamble. Maybe I can do it. Nah, gotta play the lottery in order to win the lottery. And gambling, I really have a hard time being like, here's $100. And if I don't get anything from it, I'm like, that was really quick. So that's not the way I can go about it. So I'm working on paying it off. I also came to the conclusion that I am not going to sell my house in order to do this because, well, first of all, I don't even know if I can do this. So let's just do that first. And since my house is in Southern California, it's in a really kind of good part where the weather is amazing. Once I sell here, I will never be able to come back. I already know that. I mean, it's so expensive here. And what I can get in other places for the same price, I just sit here and just kind of cringe going, really, I'm in this small little 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. My property lot is okay. But dude, if I just spent this money, like I just talked to like somebody in Texas, I could have like a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, and I just sit there but the weather sucks. But then again, you just put the money towards air conditioning and heating, and the weather doesn't matter if your house is nice. So that's another consideration. So I'm on the way of trying to get money saved, debt paid, and then go into debt a better way, at least to get something out of it. And yeah, I will let you know how this goes because it's going to happen. We're slowly getting there. Okay, bye.